cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Map 1 is done. ENCE are the winners. It came close near the end. There was ecos traded both ways, but at the end of the day, it's 1-0 in the best of 3 for ENCE.
It is. I think it was a little bit closer than I expected it to be, or that you expected it to be. Spirit did put up a fight after what I considered to be a shaky first half, but they still put up a fight on the T side. We saw notably Coldy with very good openings. That's going to be very much needed on dust2, but it's 1-0 ENCE, and Spirit are in a bad position.
And there is a lot of room for those individual plays to come through on dust2. One of the best pug maps in that sense. Flying across cat, coming out long.
If we are looking for silver linings, then yes, there is.
Okay.
Definitely, you maybe do not need as much depth, tactically speaking, to go up against ENCE on that map. As you say, you have many territory to just go up for aim duels straight up. And at this game, definitely Spirit can go to the battle. I think ID's balance was pretty good. Coldy looked on form. So it might happen. However,
in some sense, anything can happen, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to lie to people, right? I feel like dishonest when I say that. I think this is going to be a 2-0 ENCE. They look activated. No one was really slacking or missing kills or making questionable decisions.
They had a long flight and everything, and it's a first day in the first map, so maybe that map isn't as close as we just saw it be if it was later in the tournament or. I mean, not after having to get accustomed to new setups and stuff like that. So maybe that was a chance for Spirit to take it to a third. But dust2 will not be easy by any means. ENCE are so good on dust2.
Yeah, and in that sense, I wonder, wouldn't it be better for Spirit if the first map had been dust2? Right?
I think so.
Then ENCE maybe is not completely activated in terms of skill, maybe communication is a bit off, and you have an easier time finding mistakes and weaknesses in defense, whereas Nuke is very much a tactical battle. So it doesn't really matter if one player or two from ENCE is not at the best. They still have the protocols, they have the procedures, they know how to rotate. We saw that times again. So maybe Spirit would have hoped to start on dust2, just go completely all in, and then maybe have a chance to go up 1-0. Now I feel like ENCE woke up, they did what they had to do on Nuke, and they looked poised to take that best of 3.
Yeah, it was ENCE to pick to pick Nuke, so there was no way for Spirit to get it first.
No, I don't think the way the video works. It was like this.
ENCE went through, kind of knew how that would go into play. But we are into map number 2 now. dust2 here between Spirit and ENCE. It'll be me and Maniac and I.
Maniac and I.
For being
Don't
proper
understand
about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about the action. in this map. We've got a lower default at the moment, a cat setup from Spirit. They're here to be aggressive with the USP. The flash is no good on Somedayoung. He'll hold his position for just a moment, but now that the information has been traded, it is the CTs who feel more at risk than the Ts. Ts will now move ahead with the round. And although some opportunities have been there, no damage has been dealt either way. Coldy is looking to take a duel on long. If cat control gets taken, this is a crunch on the A side. So important that they try to hold here. Idis Balance will look for a kill to complement Somedayoung. Somedayoung going to go ahead and get 2 for himself. Does a ton of damage on the remaining players, but sight control has been lost. The smoke is down. Chopper gets one through the smoke, and this might activate their presence to come through it. Bomb gets planted for a long plat, but oh, no, it's actually a P250. So he can kind of play at range from here, a little bit better than a Glock. Sergey, how quickly will he take this duel? That is the question. The pre-fires come out, but it's X7 from long to assist, nice and early. And Sotfik in the 1v2 looking for any opportunity possible. Can't get either kill, and the round goes the way of ENCE.
Very well played 2v1. They had the information, they went straight for the frag. That was really well played. I also want to mention, maybe it wasn't really obvious looking at the game right now, but because X7 took long on his own, and the CT realized he was in the pit, it forced Somedayoung and his teammate to stay short. Because one of the rules of the A side is you cannot give up both. Catwalk and long. Yep. You're done for. The round is over. So when they have the information of X7 in the pit, that puts a lot of pressure. And what happens is they need to fight short or catwalk with USP against Glock. So it's very short range. So in that sense, X7, maybe he didn't get any frag at the beginning of the round, but he took so much space, put so much pressure onto Spirit.
No, we're watching what is basically an eco cleanup, and it all falls so quickly. Aerial, 4-piece on the Galil. The doorman.
The doorman.
I love that. Shuts him down. Oh, man.
Denies the B-side.
That's it, yeah. Closes the unclosable doors. And a clean eco is important. I mean, we just kind of we brushed him off. But the amount of money you save for the future rounds, the fact that now the comeback mechanic is stronger, building up a bank is more important than ever.
Absolutely. Winning a full round against USP is not really the question. Yes, you're going to win, but are you going to make it clean? Are you going to build a bank, as you said? Very important.
Oh, Alu's going to be forcing his way out of long. Dodges that flash nimbly. Will he go through the smoke? Flashes come out perfectly, and he can't get the kill on either of the M4s. Chopper half-line is able to support his teammate in time. 3v5 and pick control looks to be encroached upon, but Somedayoung holds his own. The cat split is shut down. Everybody falls on ENCE. No bomb plant to go down. They weren't even close to the site.
No, they weren't. This was one of the most typical scenarios of dust2, right? The all well-known long battle at the beginning. Alu really trying to make a go for it. He went through the smoke. He had a lot of flashes going into his back. I think it was a matter of milliseconds or millimeters. I think Chopper just did not get flashed. If he had been flashed, then maybe Alu is good for a double kill with the MAC-10. He played close gap. He had the MAC-10 he needed to be close. The strategy was meant for him to be that fast, but he couldn't find the opening, and then it just unraveled. Team Spirit pretty much handled that rush. So now I want to see if this puts ENCE in a position where the long play is not an option anymore.
Sure.
Like maybe they just won the psychological battle of long, and as we see here, ENCE are completely diverting the game.
Yeah, that could be the case. It's a fast mid to B though in round 4. Sergey dealing with the window. He's got kind of a crossfire. The spam through the smoke maybe should be a second priority, but they're both doing damage, making it impossible for ENCE to get across safely. They do have sight control, but it's a 2v4. The op is sitting in T-spawn, so he's got to make his way over. He can cut off any tunnel's presence, and it's on the CTs to decide if they want to peek early. Opportunity here for Aerial to capitalize. A 2v3, much more winnable. Flashes come down, and they're moving into the site before the bomb has decided to get planted. Eventually, Aerial falls, and the op shots will now ring off. Alu has to be so careful, not much to work with. Looks for the shot over top of the double stack. Can't hit the op shot though, and there's another player already made his way into the site. And camping out by the door is Somedayoung to take him out.
Questionable decision, I think, from Spirit to make it into that bomb site as the bomb is not even planted. They didn't need to do that. I mean, Aerial was really close to get that double elimination fast. But I still have to say, Spirit look like they can handle a fast-paced tactic, right?
That's a big
First,
thing,
they were tested long, and they handled it perfectly. Now the B split as well, very well handled by Team Spirit. ENCE were really they couldn't find any opening, right? They were getting shot from both CT spawn and the guy in the window and a player in the door. Really well played from Spirit, and I wonder if this is going to force ENCE to slow the pace and play maybe a little bit more tactically, because these 2 rounds, I don't know if that's a decision. I mean, if it's like a conscious decision to like capitalize the fact that they want nuke, so they want to apply a lot of pressure. They don't want to give Spirit like the possibility to wake up or come back in this map. But ENCE is really playing very, very fast.
Yeah, they're turning up the tempo. Do you think that when Sergey was there, just kind of looking back and forth between mid to B and the window, do you think he was confused about how he was getting damaged from mid to B? Do you think he should have?
I think so.
But do you think he should have prioritized the fight, or was he just in a tough spot because he was getting hit through the smoke?
I might be wrong, but I think there is a silencer M4 on the side of Team Spirit
Yeah,
that was shooting through the smoke, CT based, which is very it's uncomfortable. And I think Sergey SE was a little bit weirded out by this M4 that was shooting at him. And he was maybe hoping to see a gap above the smoke, because there are some players that play on the the stack of boxes on the CT spawn. So maybe he was trying to punish that. And no one was really giving Sergey the possibility to get a frag. They were just shooting through smokes, like shoulder peeking. So he was in a bad position, but that's because Spirit played it really well.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that kind of insane pressure can be so hard to shut down. The payoff is huge for ENCE if they win, right? If they, they win a fast round like that, then they could demoralize Spirit. They could slow them. They could slow them down so much. But instead, ENCE are the ones who just get shut down themselves, and they run the risk of looking dumb as well for losing a round like that. But there's still a chance for them to come back into the game. But this round will be a little bit more tough. Very much just pistols at the moment. Sotfik has help from his teammate along, and they're doing a fantastic job of not only fighting all of these fights, but staying alive and sharing the load of the effort.
Yeah, nothing really to do for ENCE. They just had one flash. Flash is supposed to disable the op, just give you enough time to make it to the bomb site, maybe get a bomb plant. But Sotfik was in a very good position. He played the ramp up and down again. Always getting a lot of damage when he was peeking. That was very well handled by Spirit. I wonder if the decision from ENCE to play so fast is to kind of condition Spirit to use a lot of utility at the beginning of the round, because you've just played long super fast, you played the B split, so it might force them to not hold on smokes and molotovs, and then you can install a kind of slower game style where you go more into like a tactical type of Counter-Strike, but first you put them under a lot of pressure and you make sure they use everything they have at the beginning.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely leave it to you to keep tabs on that as we move forward. It might be interesting to see if Spirit kind of let go of their Molotovs too early, too many smokes, and if ENCE try to capitalize off that. They've certainly slowed it down already. A couple of flashes to try to take mid to B control potentially. They've moved up without clearing the door out. No Molotov for the close positions. Chopper gets a kill with his AUG. They do move up on Cat, but Cat presence is kind of understood that it will be taken. Long is going to be taken simultaneously, however, and now ENCE are suddenly in position. They had to aggressively fight to get here. But they've also attracted the attention of all these CT. Idis Balance, amazing op shot. Dropping the hammer on Alexi B, and Sum Dai Young also joining in the fray. Sergey, last man up, 1v1 as he trades out Sum Dai Young. And it's just Coldy. Sergey takes 1 point of damage, and Coldy's off the corner of the smoke. Will he be able to get this duel? It looks like yes. Quite close. Sergey got a bullet in. If it was a headshot, the game was over. But it wasn't. Spirit win the 1v1.
A different type of round play here by ENCE, much more tactical with the catwalk, taking catwalk slowly. They did a bit of a mistake on Chopper in that door, as you mentioned. They should have Molotov, or at least flashed it, cleared it before they took catwalk. So they kind of had to pay the tax for their mistake and lose a player there. But still, I think they were in a good position, and Idis Balance really hit a magnificent shot onto Alexi B.
Yeah.
Then got a second one middle. That round is for him.
Well, the taxes are high in Finland, so...
It is? Is it high?
I don't think it is.
It probably is. All Scandinavian countries have pretty high taxes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are up there, too. But that's a conversation
we
for
have this
another
little thing
time,
called the bank secrecy. We don't really talk about that much.
Oh, okay. Well, we can talk about it off stream then, maybe?
Maybe off stream.
I guess so, okay.
I'll let you in on the secrets.
Perfect. I like what I'm hearing. But I don't like what I'm seeing. Not for ENCE. They've got only pistols. They have... What's interesting is they have 3 smokes. They probably don't want to die in this situation, huh? Smokes are going to go up and across. I don't think they lost a player who did have one. Well, now they're completely out of nade, so are they going to move off of this? The time ticks down. Idis Balance can try to support. They have kind of long control from this spot, but the CTs have rotated in. Idis Balance showing no signs of stopping. Is already taken out too, denying the bomb plant from crossing, and the bomb drops into CT spawn. And it's Sergey once again, but this time versus 5. And oh, okay, we switched. I can understand why we switched POVs, because Colby was supposed to get that kill, but it was instead Sergey who goes for the body on this next shot.
I got baited too. I thought I really thought Sergey was dead.
Yeah,
at that point.
he should have absolutely been dead. I don't know how he managed to get that kill, but yeah.
Takeaway from this round, as you can see, ID's balance completely, he's on form right now.
Uh-huh.
And ENCE is going to need to have a ton of flashes and well-timed, one after another. It's very important when you take the A side. A lot of teams usually throw all the flashes at the same time, which is a mistake. You have to have some kind of procedures, one flash, then another, then another, then another, and then you can make it to the A side, because ID's balance is doing his best device impression right now on long.
Yeah, he is absolutely doing that. It's not gonna die easily. He's not gonna get flashed off very easily. He's staying on here on Cat by himself, so this might be an opportunity to at least try to get some damage in at the very least. But yeah, I mean the standard protocol here is shoot, fall back, get up on the ledge, take a shot, fall back once again. Oh, boost comes out right after Ida's balance turns his attention away, and will he sweep right back into this? Alexi will be waiting, but that doesn't mean necessarily that he'll be winning. There it is. Oh, clean headshot. Absolutely fantastic crosshair placement from Alexi. Again, wasn't a free kill.
No, but the boost was really interesting, and once again, a different type of rounds. Way slower, first take short, don't get any open frags against you. They get the opening onto ID's balance, and now that is really a pickle for Team Spirit. They lost their op, they don't really have long anymore, they have to make a gamble. I would even like them to play 3 on A maybe, because if you're going to play 2-2, then you have to be aggressive. Here, Sotfig is behind the smoke. He's going to get the flash down to him. Ariel is blind. He's going to get the first onto Alexi. He's traded by Alu, and now it's all on Samdayon.
One for one. Will it be enough? Samdayon, can he do more? He's got one extra kill. It's 2v3. They've got a retake. It's going to be a tough one, and now it's just Coldy with the least mobile gun in the game. He's got the AWP, and he's nowhere near for the retake.
No, he's going to save it. He might try and punish whoever is looking for him. I don't know if he's going to be ready for Sergey here. We're going to see it quite soon. Oh, he took his time. He took his time. He did the best impression of me with an AWP. That's
that
how
right?
I look like.
Okay.
I zoom, and then I make sure I'm on the guy, and then I shoot when I'm
Okay,
there.
I mean, this seems like a good way to be. What's the problem with that?
Well, Sergey had been a little bit more ready. That could have been dramatic.
Yeah.
But just joke aside, that death from Sergey might have consequences, right? Because ENCE is actually not building banks on this round. They only have 2 players alive. If they were to lose the next one, then the money would be, a little bit in the dumpster. But
I call that one the rule of majority.
Yeah, the rule. Okay, I like that. The rule of majority.
Gotta have 3 to take a profit.
Yeah, to make sure that whatsoever happened, you can provide something for the 2 others that died the next round.
Yeah. They won't be doing that here. So it's a good op save as well. We've seen what one op can do. I don't know if it's going to be a buy for everybody in the server at the moment. It looks like it's a pretty healthy situation for Team Spirit, so that's a good sign. I think we'll get another meaty gun round on our hands. And hopefully
someone must have died.
I think that was through a door, right?
Oh, that was through the door. You're right. It was just damage.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was a headshot, though, wasn't it?
It was a headshot,
You heard
definitely.
that?
Yeah, I heard it. I thought we were looking at a 5v4.
It definitely felt like it was going to be. And let's see if somebody young is going to hold strong again. He's been really good by himself most of the time, either at long, on cat, whatever the case may be. And now he's going to have 2 more threats coming his way, and the first one is going to be too much. Ariel, the doorman, is now coming out of long doors to get that first frag. Sergey from behind serves as tertiary support, leaving Sotfik, the lone man on A, in CT spawn. Although this was a buy, it didn't look like one, Maniac.
Now the round is over, and ENCE here hitting a very known timing, I would say, when it comes to dust2
Well,
at the moment.
what denotes
So
it?
what usually happens is that a lot of teams put a lot of resources to make sure that their long player gets into pit safely, right? Because as we saw in that game, the first weapon round was a full-on battle long. So what you do is you use a lot of resources just to make sure that this area of the map is safe in the first, say, 10 to 15 seconds. But if nothing happens, your natural reflexes is to leave a player long and then reposition towards the A side. And this is exactly when ENCE hit. As you said, I think it was Samdayon along in the pit. So in that precise timing, he's either a hero or he's dead. The only thing that can really save him is a protocol ready with a teammate, and he hears the push happening and someone flashes for him.
Yeah.
That's what Astralis would do, right? Astralis would probably ask for a flash that would come at the perfect time, 4 players would be blind, and then he would get 4 kills. But in that position, the timing found by ENCE was really good.
So a lot of the A setups now, it does consist of like Glaive would be in the pit, Device might be opping car. Sometimes it's hard to have a situation where you can defend against long A control and support your teammate in pit.
I think whoever is playing along in the pit has to either ask for flash and then go straight full on for the fight, just on a flash of his teammate, or if he want to play it a little bit more safe, then he has to close his angle to force his opponent to go wide in the open to fight him. In that sense, the round before, Samdayang was a little bit too open, so Ariel didn't really need to take any risk. He could just peek him, eliminates him, and he's safe from the A bomb side. If you want to stay in the pit, you have to force your opponent to be completely vulnerable from the A side. And then, as you said, Device or whoever is opening there then can punish whoever's looking for you.
Second line of defense. So opening kill to Alu, second kill to Ariel. No trade in sight for Team Spirit as ENCE move swiftly forward with this round. A mid to B that looks a lot more promising than it did the last time around. They've eliminated their threats before they've even left the door. Sotfik over top of the smoke is not going to be able to have impact. Once again, is the third player to kind of try to be, or the third player to be close to the action, but in no position to actually deal with it, and also gets killed. So Samdayang is automatically in save mode. He was a long player. He decided to go for a fast flank this round, but even at that speed, ENCE were moving faster.
Yeah, ENCE were too fast. Once again, change of tactic, change of plans when it comes to ENCE. They've just played 2 or 3 rounds over on the A side. They had that long surprise. They had the short catwalk, slow execute. And now they've kind of conditioned Spirit to be strong on the A side. They just hit that B split very fast.
Yeah,
That's
can you
the name of
talk
the game,
about
right?
like conditioning a little bit? Like how important is that?
Well, for the longest time, dust2 was about deciding, are we going to play 3 players towards the A side on the defense and 2 towards the B side, or are we going to play 2-1-2? And in that sense, you would be really, really ready and in a good position if your opponents were to be split, because you have one player CT base, he can play with his teammate that's B ramp, and then another one on the B side. But that's a decision you need to make, right? And ENCE just won 2 rounds in a row on the A side, so the logical choice for Spirit at that point is to play 3 players toward the A side, at least at the beginning of the round, which opens up that possibility for a B split. That's really the name of the game on dust2.
A lot of mind games go down with the mid door, with the fast cats that happen. If you think a team's going to take long control, yeah, anytime you use 3 CTs at once, you're kind of wide open to all these other faster threats. And ENCE have shown that they're ready to go for the body if you're going to try to protect your head. So. Long control, they can hold on to that all they want, but they've now got to also worry about mid to B. In the past, they shut it down, but here, ENCE are showing them that it's still an option. But what do they do now? They've taken long control a few times. They peppered in a couple of mid to B takes. They've kind of aggressively gone for cat splits that have been shut down. Do they go back to any of those? It's also
I think
maybe
they were doing a good job when they were just playing on the basic 3-2. The first round that actually ENCE won was when iDisbalance took a risk here. We see Chopper completely destroying Ariel. X7 has to run away, he has 6 HP. To stay alive is very important. But iDisbalance got punished when he pushed Cat, right? Before that, it felt like ENCE didn't have any solution. So maybe just go back to that 3-2, make sure you have an op. I think Samdayang is in a position to drop an op next round if he wants to. So that could be the name of the game. One way that you can get around this sort of 3A or 2A conundrum is to start the round with 3 being on A and have a player that's really fast rotating to CT base. That's one of the things that Glaive used to do, is just make sure that your long player is in, and then you run to CT base, and then you kind of leave your teammates 2 on A, and what they need to do is they need to concentrate on long if a split happens. So you just completely bail on catwalk, you make sure you keep long until the end of the round, then you can organize sort of a retake and control whoever is going out of longhouse.
And A is always retakeable if you're confident. It's not that easy. I mean, neither side is that easy, but there's just so many ways to approach it, whether it's retaking long control first or having cat or whatever the case may be. In this situation, ENCE seem a little tense. You know, they don't know where all the CTs are. Oh, a kill came out, but Chopper's got his side turned here. They're giving him a lot of respect, but all that noise is not going to account for anything. Chopper never changes his line of sight, and they've got the 3 smokes out for long. I mean, maybe it's thick enough to stop bullets at this point, but at the very minimum, they'll get a plant safely.
The round is probably over at this point. You wanna appreciate the detail. Alexibi was actually jumping with his back, and he was doing his best Dolphin impression. So he was jumping the angle and coming back just to make sure that if someone was aiming at him, he would shot, and then his op or X7 could peek. So really kind of details, and it looked a little bit silly because Chopper was not looking at them, so it ended up Alexibi being just jumping for nothing. But had there been an op waiting for them or an AK waiting for them, I appreciate these kind of details.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was almost going to, I mean, it was a great thing to do. I was wondering if it was going to be sound that could be heard, but maybe a
just
bit too
wasn't
far.
enough.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. And obviously, he's just trying to show his AK. So go ahead and shoot that if you want. Go ahead and shoot that if you please. The 3-man save also just, a gamble because they can take these guns in the next round. If ENCE go B, then they can have a good chance of stopping them. But they don't get caught in any kind of rotation with weak guns where they have to maybe retake and somewhat fight. Instead, they increase their chances of both saving safely and holding a site safely. And in this case, it was the former. So at least they keep that AK. They've got a full buy here to support it. ENCE have a lot to work with. Alu supporting the fast cat. Alexi's looking to maybe bust out of the mid double doors, maybe just making sure that nobody gets close up or crosses late. And it looks like the latter might be true. Chopper is now making his way over to the other side of B. I don't know if Alu from spawn saw this presence. And there's a good flash to stop iDisbalance from taking a shot. It seemed like he wanted to go for something timing based after eating it. But now he's got to rotate out. What's the read on this setup here for ENCE?
Well, this is a very dust2 101 round that is happening right now. Cat control very well organized by ENCE. We see Alexibi taking a maximum of information, putting a lot of pressure as well. He might be still deciding what he wants to do, depending on what kind of information he can take, who's shooting at him or not. Does he hear someone CT base? Then he will decide. But what is great about having short at this time is that you can do pretty much whatever you want. They still have a player position on long. They still have a player position on B. They have all the possibilities. By the way they're rotating, I would say we are looking at a split, probably, with the main force being short. But still, puts a lot of pressure on the long side as well. Because there's this ghost player, right? There's always someone long, but we don't know when he's going to be, when he's going to hit.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
And the scary part here for ENCE is Spirit have an op here on A. Oh, the op is just got pushed into a terrible spot. Look at those Molotovs. Insane coverage on those, but Sotvik has moved into fence. That means, sorry, Goose. And he goes ahead and gets 3. Mowed down with the 25 bullet gun. The silenced M4, and can he make it a 4th? He does. Clean shooting from him. Pristine shots from the corner, and from a totally unknown position to ENCE. They had no idea to even clear him. They thought they had won that round.
Yeah, well, we go back to the discussion of do we play 3 on A or 2 on 2, because this goose position is one of the way that you can gamble and have a very strong A side. Obviously, the downside of it is that if ENCE decides to actually fake it or go for a B split, then your third player is nowhere near to help your teammates on B. So that your 2 B players are on their own, and good luck to you if they come on the B split, we can help you. But if they hit the A side, we can see even though iDisbalance got caught off guard by beautiful utilities. He got flashed out, Molotoved out. He died very easily and very quickly. Sotvik is still in a very surprising position.
Absolutely. Oh, Alu. Oh, he's going to take it upon himself to go for an off shot, but iDisbalance is there and prepared. And for anybody who doesn't know, best CT spawn to long beats any T spawn to long. And that will always be the case. Still could have pre-fired it if he was good enough. Good flash from Alexi, and it seems like that's not the first time we've seen that Alu dies and then Alexi makes a play to try to make up ground. But now we're seeing a situation where he dies as well, and they have nothing to show for it. Flash goes out once again. Everybody taking it upon themselves to make these individual plays to just try to grasp at straws, grab anything they can to pull themselves back into this.
Quite an uncharacteristic round from ENCE, I feel like. We don't often see this type of scenario where it is 5v4, v3, v2, v1. I think it's one of their strengths that they don't let that happen. Here, Alexi B, up until that point, he had found a lot of success taking Catwalk. Maybe not always finding the opening frags, but always gaining that territory. This time, he pays the price for it, and you can see that there's no really backup plan behind it. Alu tried long, he died, then Alexi B gets punished short, and the round is over. So uncharacteristic, and Spirit, they stayed alive. They stayed alive, very much so. I feel like they have a good read on what's happening. Individually, they are very much solid. We saw Softtake with beautiful spray on A, for example. So ENCE, they are nowhere near 2-0 at the moment. They still have to put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, very surprising scenes. Spirit have a small numerical lead, but just more impressively a lead at all. They've just got... they've taken control of the game, and that could have been a critical round. And it was kind of ENCE who just, in that sense, rested it all on Alu. If Alu doesn't get the kill, then it's just random, is kind of what they said. We'll go ahead with these lurks. We'll take individual plays. But, your 4v5 percentage is also important. I mean,
right.
You're not supposed to lose 5v4s if you're the other team, but good teams all have good 4v5 percentages.
That's what really bothers me about the last round. Obviously, it can happen that Ali takes a duel, he loses it. That can be. When you're going for an off shot at the beginning, there's always a possibility to lose your duel. But then the problem is that 4v5 doesn't really look like anything. It's a bunch of like 1v1s taken left and right. So as you say, they should have a backup plan.
Look at this. It might be some kind of read here from Spirit. They've stacked up on B. They played 3 towards this side of the map. We talked about 2-1-2. But what about 2-3? Chopper and Co. are here and ready to go. They've got a smoke to help them while they toss their nades in. And all of the ENCE players are coming out into a crossfire, a tri-fire. I mean, they had no idea any of this was going to happen to them.
Yeah, as you said, very much an exotic 2-1-2, where actually the one who is middle was very close to the window, so it was virtually a 2-3. I think this is a consequence of ENCE getting beaten down by Softic on A. They probably want to they shied away a little bit from that A side. Very, very well thought by Spirit to use that setup at that time because we hadn't seen it before. So it's definitely what we call a read, which is when you basically gamble a little bit on your defense because you can anticipate the tactic coming from ENCE. So in that sense, Spirit had the good read, and then the shots were beautiful, all the utilities. ENCE had no way into that round.
If you don't gamble, you'll never win.
Yeah, I guess you were right. I don't really want to promote that attitude out there, you know. I cannot argue with that logic.
Never gamble, never win. That's what I always say. But yeah, Spirit gambled. They had some kind of read for whatever reason, and they were totally right about it, and they reaped the benefits. So ENCE, it looks like they're ecoing. It's actually just the last round of the half. They spent everything that they can, which is really tough position for them. They've actually baited out a lot of nades, considering how much they've retained. They still have 2 Molotovs, a bunch of their smokes, and a lot of flashes as well. And Spirit have expelled a lot of utilities specifically on the A site where ENCE want to go.
Yeah, very interesting smoke here. Softic got completely baited by it. He thought it was going to be a B-split, but it's going to be eye disbalance being tested. He's flashed. He cannot find the first fight. Some Dayong is here to help him. There's a 3v4, still in a good position. Here, whoa, Ali's going to jump to CT base, gets caught by Sotfik, leaving Sergey and X7 with only Deagles and P250s in a dream. Might not be enough. Might
not be enough. They do want to get a kill early if they can, and X7 does go ahead and get his. Can't blame him for jumping up in that situation, but Spirit, go ahead. Take this half, 9-6 on dust2. Not something I expected to see.
No, and the way it happened, right? They've looked impressive. I think individually they're pretty much activated all across the board, and tactically speaking, had the right reads at the right time. The third player on Goose, you know, Sotfik getting the 4K, and then that triple B setup, almost, we can call it that way. So impressive by Spirit. ENCE a little bit out of breath, I would say.
Lackadaisical.
Inexplicably, like, they couldn't really find tactical solutions, I would say, where that's usually what I commend them for.
Right, yeah.
And here they run flat a little bit at the end.
Maybe a better showing of stamina in that regard, I mean, that they need, because like that's, as you mentioned, a hallmark of any good team. And like, why shouldn't they have ideas? They've played a half on dust2 many, many times.
Yeah, it really felt like they were playing a like simple one-dimensional Counter-Strike, which is it's not a diss. It's not something bad. But if you go into that game with that plan, then you need to have like another layer, another level that you can use when things don't go your way at the beginning. And I didn't really see that from ENCE.
Ooh, look at this. There's the cat setup from ENCE, the 2 players inside B. At the very least, these cat players, they're not B players, but they're fast rotates, and they have mid control. So they know there's not going to be any kind of fake initial kill comes out from X7, and he's locked into position here. He's got to wait for his teammates to help him while he reloads, and the pistol shots go off. Some Dayong gets a Glock kill for himself. 2v3 in this situation, but the fast flank is already here, as we mentioned. The cat play early on paid off in dividends for ENCE.
Yeah, X7 did pretty much what you could expect from him, or what you could hope he would do. He gets the first fight, and he stays alive for long. The fact that he doesn't die instantly gives Alexibi the possibility to peek door and catch someone who is obviously focused on X7 that is still alive. So in that sense, this is why sometimes we say staying alive is very important on the bomb side. Maybe even if you don't get 3 frags, but because X7 stayed alive for so long, Alexibi got in a good position, double opening, and then the flank was very, very fast. That 3v2 was actually never a possibility for Spirit.
As soon as you kind of see that guy back plat and you haven't killed him, you start strafing side to side instead of moving forward, and he's not peeking you, and you're getting frustrated, and then the flash comes over, and that's where it kind of that's how it all starts. And it also helps that X7 got that first kill. So
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
they get
totally.
that huge confidence.
No, for sure. And I think it's also, you're talking about like strafing and not really going for the duel. I think it is quite hard and uncomfortable to play a duel and at the same time be aware of the other environmental dangers. Like, okay, I know that player is plat. I'm going to go for him. And at the same time, I'm exposing myself now to the door. I'm exposing myself to the car, to the window. How should I peek this? And only very, very veteran player and experienced player know how to take a duel and limit like the opportunities they give to other players to punish them.
And maybe you won't be aware of a flash coming over the
No, obviously not.
know, so that a wide one could still catch you. And what we saw there was just a quick cleanup from ENCE, just an anti-eco, and had minimal losses, so it's just pretty good. They're going to hold on to retain the scout. They've got an MP9. They're probably going to want to try to get as many MP9 kills as they can, but they know that the Spirit are going to be buying up. This is a kind of a weird situation because you have an op, so it's like you don't want to upgrade all your guns because it's a sort of a bonus for you, but you don't want to lose your op. You definitely want to win the round, and they're certainly going to be trying their hearts out. It's quick, long control though for Team Spirit, not any point of resistance. However, it'll be met in response to map regression. Alexi B has made his way to the top of mid. He's only got a Falma, so I'm sure he's not like super confident, but he's probably hopeful that there's no one here, and now he can kind of get himself into position. Noise is going to be made. Some Young is going to find this. Oh my gosh, I think that information was a one-way street. Alexi B saw him, but Some Young turned his attention to the right, and Alexi will go out to try to flank. It depends on how Some Young wants to play this. He's just going to move into the doors. This is actually kind of good for them because now Alexi doesn't know if he's going to go and be aware from the door of a flank. But at the very least, he can get himself into a good spot. And ENCE have so much information. So how's this going to play out? Single box smoke comes out. Aerial. Will he be the first and last line of defense? Initial kill. Sprays a lot of his bullets. Empties the mag. X7 gets an MP9 kill. It's 3 frags on the board for ENCE. There's 1 left, and that's Sotvic, and it is Alexi to come in with that big flank to put the last nail in the coffin.
What a beautiful round from ENCE. Honestly, from the beginning to the end, first of all, they lose long control, as you mentioned, then they retake short, so it's a give and take, right? Someone takes from you, then you take from them. It's actually not a give and take then. But you know, you lose long, then you retake Cat, and then Alexi is pushing. Obviously, a little bit of luck. Some Young could have seen him. It could have been a different round.
Sure.
But by that time, Alexi hears the rotation and no one is aware of his position, then he can pretty much redirect his entire team towards the A side. So that round was almost won before any frags happened, just based on positioning, decision making, and information.
That's when it's so cool, right?
It is.
Watch. You know, that's kind of why we're here to talk about it. To get to see, you know, how positioning is the crux, is the reason if one team is better than another, and we saw that in play last round with ENCE and all of their info. Tico here as Aerial once again, the first line of defense. Actually, just Alexi through the smoke. Why not? He's got that angle lined up.
Just a feels-good moment, right? Zone Glocks and the Eagles coming your way. You have a Stare Aug just shooting through the smoke. So a bit quick cleanup. ENCE's money is certainly rising, right?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about these Swiss banks slowly.
And stock is through the roof. They've got a music hit in the game. They're raking in cash at the moment.
They are in a good situation, right? And it's always comfortable that when you know that even if you lose the next up and coming round, you can still rebuy behind it very comfortably. So psychologically speaking, you feel comfortable. You feel like you can take a risk if you need to. You have that cushion, kind of that soft pillow under your butt.
That sounds fantastic
It
right
does.
about now. Can't think of a time
Aerial
of day
kind
that I
of
wouldn't
left
be looking
hanging
for
here.
it.
No
Oh,
one
yeah.
wanted to boost Aerial.
Unlucky. Yeah, it'll just be all on Alu. I wonder if that was a change of play too. If they were going to go for some boost on Cat, or if Alu would have peeked out aggressively like he did there. We don't know.
No one wanted to boost the doorman.
You see, at all levels of play, you're going to have fast Cat antics. But Sergey with the op, I don't even know how he got that. Alexi's going to get flashed into the doors and flashed back out. I think he saw an opportunity. It was good that he didn't overextend past the point of no return.
Yeah, very
Many
wise
players
decision.
who would have chased that to its finality and then gotten killed for it.
Yeah, very wise decision from Alexi B. He had a very narrow opening window where he could get the frag onto flash of his teammate. He missed it. He realized it stays alive. Still a 4v4. Aerial is going to go for the kills. He gets onto Chopper. Softic is good for the trade. That's a 3 versus 3. Some information taken. ENCE node. An AWP is short. That means a lot generally. But they have given up on long. That information is currently taken by Coldie.
Oh,
Alexibi is going to take the duel. You know he's going to get punished by Sundayon. That is a little bit unlucky, but you know, he had luck last round, so...
There you go. Give and take, right? Take and take?
Yeah, well, take and take, exactly. What comes around, goes around. And all these nice sentences that you guys like to say.
Yes.
No seriousness, that 2v3 doesn't look good. You
No.
might even consider saving if you're in ENCE's shoes right now.
But this is one of the retakes. It feels like they're actually thinking about going for Subdayoung. Oh, he's so nice with it. You'd see, like, you know, you could miss a shot from there. They could peek up on any part of the cat. I mean, the whole staircase very wide, and Subdayoung super clean on that shot. So, well played, well played. And yes, at a certain point, ENCE had the A site almost completely evacuated. So, it came down to those first two duels. Surprised Alexi, I mean, where did he think that guy went, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it. He cleared, like, he thought it was around Xbox, but then after that, he jumped up.
He probably heard someone go into catwalk and assumed that was the player that he originally fight with into the lower right. Because, to be fair, in a 3 versus 3, I can understand why Alexibi would not look for a lurk, right? Because in general, when the clutches happen and it's only 3 or 2 versus 2, you don't really leave a player behind. It's too risky. You usually want to have like to pack together with as much firepower as you can have to make the difference. So here, Sundayon actually took the decision to stay behind and lurk, and I think this is why Alexibi got caught. But already started with Ali being picked off catwalk, right? He peeked aggressively. That was a very quick 5v4 for Spirit. ENCE did their best they could to come back into the round. Once again, we see ENCE, they have a lot of moves that they can use to come back into a 4v5, but it just wasn't enough.
Oh, yeah. They've definitely got a playbook, that's for sure. And Idis Balance has been really fantastic. I mean, he's very reliable with the op. Like, for opening kills, he's won duels versus Alu. He's opened up on riflers without getting traded. He's gotten trades himself, as we saw last round as well. And he's continues to be this variable threat. No, but you know Alu's not going to be scared. Wow, that was a very tight peek. I think that didn't even go through the door. Flash goes out. Ooh, Chopper wanted to be careful about it. Didn't expect that Alu would be flashed, and probably for good reason. Oh, wow. That is a tight angle. Probably not a good place to line up a smoke now that you see that. But they made an effort to make sure no one would be at the door. So,
yep.
You know, we're hoping to clear that out. So try to run through the motions. Chopper goes ahead, sprays down Alexi B. That really cracks the A site wide open. He is going to be somewhat worried about it or not, but he knows that Alu was last spotted at mid. So those are all rotators. A blob of CTs here in the middle, pushing through the doors, kind of probably a little bit scared and about to get flanked by Subdayoung. Will he get these kills? We've got to keep tabs on him. He's right behind 2 players at the moment. He goes ahead and sprays down 2. Headshots aplenty, but he gets traded out. X7 eventually will take him down and goes ahead and makes it 2. They've also got a man at long, though. That option is now quelled. Yeah,
that is round done. X7 with 8 HP doesn't really have much choice. He's gonna save his weapon. Maybe I'm not sure there was an up. Yeah, there was. Here it is. X7 is gonna save the AWP.
Damn, a whole bunch of things went
sour
that round,
it was
right?
A very back and forth round with a lot of duels left and right. Chopper just found Alexi B, I guess, in the glimpse of a smoke. Right before the smoke popped out, he had the angle on him. Alu, you know, gave his team an advantage at the beginning. As you said, the procedure to take middle was good. I think the timing was just a little bit off. They cleared middle, and then they took position to smoke. That's when Ali struck. Yeah, a bit of a messy round, honestly, but sometimes that's how it is, right?
That's how it's going to go.
It is one of the characteristics of dust2 is that you can have rounds where you don't exactly need to execute a tactic from A to Z to win the round. You have a lot of duels. Generally, it's very open map, very open field. You can take fights left and right. So this is what happened here. I have to mention, Subdayoung is being really annoying fans right now with his lurks. He's being very efficient, and he went the long way. It is one thing to be ready for a middle lurk, but the B lurk is so hard to see.
So rare. I mean, you got to have big cojones to be the one to push out of tunnels in the first place. So, as a CT, you're so unexpectant of it. Another round where Spirit on a rifle round take long control, absolutely free. What does this tell them?
Well, I think looking at ENCE playing dust2 again and again, that is one of their decided setup where they, once again, take complete middle control from Cat. Alexi B being flashed out, takes middle, and they kind of accept to let long go. That's one thing to leave long open for the T's, but if they cannot really execute on it and really have the, the 2-point attack from short, it's going to be really hard. We're going to see here how Team Spirit can do it if they can take the A side only from long. Ariel is going to try to stay alive, inflict maybe a little bit of damage. and wait for his teammates to get in position.
Coldie's in lower, and it looks like a timing situation here. This could be a very important trade that happens. Coldie's not peeking just yet. Probably waiting for some action to go down. Ariel spots one at car, hits that fantastic spray right through it, and now knows there's another player on the ramp. The long player, however, the op is still up, and so he can't mess with this angle without being too careless. iDisbalance has this locked off, but there are 3 CTs still encroaching, 2 up on Catwalk, and Coldie finally activates his lurk, but it's a bit too late. And now it's just iDisbalance. Bomb is planted in his direction, but he misses the first shot, loses a ton of ground. Clock ticks down. Will they be able to go for this defuse? They have somebody on the bomb at the moment. It's going to be very tight. 1 second left, and he nails it. ENCE get 11 rounds and tie up. That would have been a bit too far, right? If they lost this round, they lost last round, they lost last round, all 1v1s. But on the other hand, I guess it's done something to Spirit's economy. No, they've still got.
I guess they can buy and have a decent buy round. Coldie has plenty of money. He could drop to Chopper if he chooses to. But here we saw why it is complicated to play the A side only based off long, right? Not because you cannot or never make it to the A side. Sometimes you will, 2 smokes, a bunch of flashes, maybe a Molotov on the side, and you're going to make it. The problem is, if you don't have Catwalk and you don't have CT base, you don't really have any angle for the post-plant positioning. You're pretty much sitting all in a line, and you can't really flank the CTs trying to come back to you. You're just taking duels pretty much in front of you.
Sorry, if you only have long as Ts?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you only take long and then you execute on the A side, the positioning that you can have after you planted the bomb are very limited. This is why ENCE is probably happy to give out long and keep on Catwalk control, because they know that even if Spirit plants the bomb, then the retake is completely playable. You have Catwalk, you have CT base, you have a Lurker maybe long. This time that Lurker was eliminated by iDisbalance, but it's still a man that needs to hold long, right?
That's a very interesting thing to think about. I mean, it's not very often you see CT teams give up long that easily, especially if they feel good about taking it, and it seems like something ENCE are happy to do over and over again, and it's been working out really well. So kind of setting the honeypot here as ENCE are going to, once again, go ahead and send somebody all the way up Cat. Spirit, I don't think are still very keen on expecting this lurk. They could have been setting a trap for Alexi B, gotten that kill 2 rounds in a row. Maybe not the first time, but certainly the second. And instead are just letting Alexi or Ariel in this situation move up. Yeah, they're committing so many resources to this. It's just a replay of the last round.
I am so impressed by ENCE.
Look at this, and
cojones, you would say.
Cojones,
to do it again.
They've got Coldie coming in from the late long flank. This time, will he have the better timing? It seems like he might. No, he doesn't. Ariel gets that kill too. 3v4 now. ENCE are in the power position. There seemed like so many opportunities for Spirit to get back into that. They're going to be crossing. It's understood that they're coming up all at long together. They'll try to put the bomb down, and iDisbalance goes ahead and gets a kill. Alu's angle was a bit too shallow, and his body was spotted before he could see iDisbalance's. Alexi gets 1 kill and gets some jumping AUG damage. Why not? Scope in for that little bit more accuracy, and Sumdayoung is certainly frustrated. And he also will end up dying. 1v3, and Sotvik gets killed. It's a defuse for ENCE, and officially a round lead.
I think you mentioned it. When are ENCE going to pay the price for that mid aggression, right?
Yeah.
That is the 3rd time in a gun round that they have a player push up middle very early in the round. But they do it with a little bit of nuance. They don't rush it. They don't use like many flashes to set up the play. It's just basically a timing they feel whenever they hear a lot of flashes long happening. And they understand that long is being taken at the moment. Then they slowly position it, like playing chess, they slowly position the player in middle, but it's the way they do it, very slowly. They hit the weird timing. That is the 2nd time that ENCE kind of abused whoever is coming from T-base, from the B side.
Yeah.
This time, Coldie gets completely caught.
Destroyed.
And you can picture how weird it is to rotate from the B side and die at 1 minute 10 in your base from a city that is T-base. So this is kind of new. I would hope Spirit to be ready for that. Okay. Have someone punish that.
Yeah, so now they have to be, right? Because now they officially saw someone on in
now,
their spawn, or
I
what?
don't expect ENCE to do it anymore.
Okay,
that's the thing, because this situation is
okay.
when, how can I put it? The situation is when you are absolutely sure that your opponents realize what you did.
Okay.
Because I think it was Ariel got the frag onto Coldie at 1:15 seconds. Then if you're ENCE, you know that they know. That play, that play cannot happen.
You know they
anymore.
know, I know you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And so is Spirit... Okay, so now Spirit have confirmation ENCE realized that was... So now Spirit realize why they lost those last 2 rounds, maybe? They think, okay...
Probably, yeah. Yeah, they probably have a better understanding of how ENCE could position themselves so well these rounds, because they actually had a spy in their ranks.
These guys are cheating.
They had a double agent in the T-base. But what is working right now for Spirit is to take long control. They have it pretty much for free.
Yeah.
But what they should do, or what I would like them to do, is to take long, but then have a second plan, a second timing in the round. Not just take long and execute. Take long, you know, have that real estate, maybe invest some money, build a hotel over there, and then take map control, the rest, you know. You have long, that's one thing, then you take middle.
Okay, so what about this? So ENCE are happy to give up long, so here Spirit are like, well, they're giving us long. Why wouldn't we take that? We'd be fools. So they go ahead and take long, and then ENCE, now that they were too afraid to make that catwalk play, we talk about, you just mentioned what Spirit would do in the situation that they get long. What are ENCE going to do when they lose long control now?
Well, one of the things that ENCE could do at this point is to actually fight for long. It hasn't been the case, right? Maybe Spirit are somehow accustomed to taking long for free. They might be a little bit greedy on the flashes they use or the utility they throw. So there might be a weakness here. ENCE could suddenly decide to really control long and fight for it, and then somehow like catch Spirit with their pants down. But if they give up long again, I think the next avenue of push or development for ENCE would be to push the B side. And this is where you have some real estate that you can take some map control. Whoever is playing, sometimes it's Somdayan, sometimes it's Goldie, whoever is playing the B side for Spirit is very often rotating through the T base and quite early. So there is an opening here for ENCE to retake map control if they give up long. But really, like, we've been talking about it, the Spirit are now in a position where they should take long control and then punish whoever is going to push, because this is happening time and time again. ENCE is always retaking map control. So take what's given to you and punish them when they try to retake information.
Right. So set that up. Ooh, I disbalance. I mean, he gets tagged up. He looked prepared to hit that crazy upward flick, but wasn't in a good position to do it. You're always going to have a lower chance of obviously hitting the flick than somebody who's holding the static angle. Aerial getting flashed late to long control, just as you pointed out, Maniac, and they go ahead and reclaim that. So it's a whole new problem, a whole new ball game for Spirit, as they've got to react, and they haven't done anything. They've just taken that one player out long. They thought they're going to get it for free. They're moving up to Cat, which is a standard process, but now they've got one player dead, one player low. They've used up some grenades. They're low on money. Maniac, this is a very important round for them to be down a man.
Yes, ENCE are in a very good position now. They decide to set up in a 2-1-2. Usually what you want to do is have the op, maybe take 1 or 2 shots towards catwalk if there is an A execute coming, and then you just lock down long. You give up the A side, you play the retake. We have seen ENCE are capable of organizing these retakes on the A side. So this is why you see here ENCE tendency to really be strong on that B split. Because the B side, once it's taken, is really hard to retake. So if you feel comfortable on A, just play the retake on it, it's fine. Grab a few kills, then play safe. But you don't want to let them get anywhere near B.
Right, so the group up explode could be the biggest threat, and it seems like that's on the menu for Team Spirit as they creep their way out mid. Alexi B is probably going to call this smoke, and it's not a good one. That's the biggest problem. He can sit on this angle and abuse what was given to him, and everybody chimes in. Stereo frags on the map. Kills in B, kills outside B. Alexi B.
Alexi B. There you go. I was just thinking about how Chopper must have felt like misled during that round. You know, his leader is probably like, "Go, you have to go long. They're never here. Don't worry. You take long control. We're gonna do that." And then he's there, and then he gets double flashed, and 3 players against him is like, "What are you talking about? They have long. They're playing long right now. You lied to me."
The doorman shows up. 10 dudes with bats, flashbangs. You're like, I don't get paid enough for this. Flash out for the long one more time. And again, this is where we kind of see like dust2 run stale in some sense. It's a gamble between mid or long. We know that Spirit love long. We know that ENCE have played this game. They figured out how to answer their long in so many different ways now. What are ENCE going to be, or what is Spirit going to be able to do differently? We'll soon find out. Aerial dodges the flash as his teammate is there to make sure he can play anti-flash, and then comes in with the late spray. Nade as well to chip in with some damage, but the T's have made their way out. The problem is they've left with nothing.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, once upon a time I was talking about this timing on long that you hope to hit, where maybe a player is alone in pit. And I think this is what Spirit were looking for, right? Around 130, 135, you give them enough time to position a player in the pit. He's probably alone, and you hit that. That's what they wanted to do. That was a very natural, raw hit on the long side. But the ENCE, they had a different plan in mind. They wanted to stay 2 players committed to long, because they had their setup with 2 players middle and 1 on B. So that was a choice. That was a setup that they had planned. And unfortunately for Spirit, they run into a crossfire, 2 players ready for them. Tactically speaking, they got beat that round.
Oh, yikes. And yeah, we're talking about that round as if it was like in the past, and this is why. They had no other option.
It was in the past to me. I was just waiting for X7 to just grab that kill.
Slow him down, yeah. Yeah, all line of sight, 2 Ts running through a smoke at him. And ENCE, again, are knocking on the door at match point, up to 14. It was tied up. Spirit were in the lead. I think they were first to get to double digits. A lot of landmarks there for Spirit as we moved through this game, but it seems like they're now starting to slow down, and ENCE are starting to figure out their opponent. And are just kind of toying with them almost. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to watch in that regard, how much mental control they have over what Spirit are going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You put it really the right way. I think ENCE have kind of outplayed, tactically speaking, Team Spirit by winning these 2 or 3 rounds with their mid-aggression that Spirit didn't really see coming and could really adapt. And then when Spirit decided to adapt, obviously ENCE, they were one step ahead. I see Aldo here takes the leg shot onto Chopper. He's going to reposition himself. That's a little bit of damage, a little bit of information. Still a good round for ENCE at the moment, right? There are only a few Molotovs, 2 smokes on the side of Spirit. I don't really see what kind of miracle they can pull. They're probably going to play it towards that B side, 3 players over there. But X7 has the org and he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, for Spirit, I can only imagine if we just turn off X-Ray for a second and put ourselves in Spirit's shoes, they're probably feeling like ENCE are everywhere. They've flanked them at every turn. They know when they're going A. They've stacked B properly. They're probably thinking, man, we just got to group and explode, and that's probably going to be obvious as well. And I'm sure X7 will be happy to see all of this ADR falling into his hands as he's got this AUG from the back of the site. Smoke goes into the door, and X7 pops up. Now he's just going to play it safely. Make sure he gets confirmation at the very least, it seems. But he's got a teammate in the back lines helping with these support nades, and that spam is looking delicious right now. And it's 2 frags for him. It might definitely be enough here. There's still 3 of these pistols moving into the side. And Sergey, oh my god, crouches under the crosshair of Coldy after getting dinked and takes the face off of Coldy. And then again with another kill. The secondary operator of the team, I don't even know.
I don't know where he is on that list, but he definitely can play the off. A little bit of a blunder from Chopper. I think he had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
Missed a little bit.
He saw the scope on one side?
Yeah, it's one of these situations where you're so sure you're going to get him that you take a little bit too much time and you're not as sharp as you should have been. Because all things considered, if Chopper gets that kill onto Sergey, then the round, it's kind of different.
It is different, yeah, because it is the B site, the door, it's not easy to come into. Yeah, it's
so
true.
Sergey kind of saved the day here.
Yeah, I was like writing it off, and then I saw him running around Sergey. I was like, well, maybe. And yeah, maybe in this round too. But it feels like the first time that we've seen Team Spirit get an opening kill in like many rounds. Alu boosted up on the Xbox over top of the smoke to get that trade. Not a trade you can let go. After getting that 5v4, that was it's just so illustrious for you. And Alu just being smart, I guess, about where his kills come from.
He's going to push up to Sumdayon. Sumdayon resists the assault of Sergey. He's going to take down Alu as well. That's a triple elimination for him. He's going to take that B side and probably the round.
What on earth?
Sumdayon with a heroic performance here.
Oh!
And it's a 4. What?
Dude.
I thought it was Coldy. we drop it everything here.
All the papers are falling. Sumdayon. Wow, that was some. He's made some plays by himself.
That was very impressive. I still have to say a little bit of overgreed on the side of ENCE.
And they missed an op shot.
Yeah,
Alu
had made the difference by far. He had double elimination. He could have fallen back to the middle, but they still wanted to take that B tunnel control, and Sumdayon completely denied them. That was a no, non-negotiable.
That was a no. He's the. I don't know what the opposite of a doorman is. So I'm in the weeds with this one. I'm going to give it up. We've got what could be the last round of the game. We don't know. There's ENCE who have taken a ton of damage. This is like a usually good sign on Inferno when you can get a lot of damage in without seeing your opponents in the early rounds. So a lot of the nade damage if possible, basically anything free. And that's kind of what Spirit have done so far. I think partially through spams. They've held on to 4 of their Molotovs. They're all in prime position, looking very healthy at the moment.
The problem really in that situation is how aware are you of the damage that you inflicted, right?
You
is that
never
going
are,
to change
right?
your
Yeah.
decision or not? Don't you know how much damage you've done? I don't really think that's the case here. Softy is going to take catwalk control with that Molotov. That's a new way of taking catwalk.
It's so weird, though, because it doesn't actually do it. Everyone's throwing this Molotov, but it doesn't actually push the opera off. Oh, my God. The flash will, but it also tells Alu to shoot, and he picks the timing, right? Sometimes you wait, sometimes you click right away. It's a gamble.
It's a little bit of a lottery, right? You get
and if you don't gamble, you don't win.
Oh, please. Okay, then you're right. No, but it is a matter of timing. You get flashed, you either shoot straight or not.
Yeah. All right. The dynamic duo, X7 and Sergey. Can they close this out? 5v4. All the nades coming in. He's going to call for the rotates. He is a little bit blind. Sergey from the top ropes gets some damage in 3v3. Our number 8-man, Alu, is at the window, but he's fired out, and the rotate is so late from Aerial. They're probably going to try to delay for a bit. Smoke comes down a bit early in the door. That might open things up for the retake. It would be a stretch for them to win. It's actually a pretty strong position for Spirit to be in at the moment.
They might consider saving, actually.
Yeah, it seems like they might actually do it. Aerial's here poking around like, man, I just ran that whole marathon. Now we're going to turn around.
They faked it. They faked that they were going to save. They're going to play the late retake.
Oh, that's a shot that you don't normally see Idis Balance miss, but it won't really matter for him. They've got the T's locked into position in the tunnel, which is big. Man, if they kill all of these guys, that's some retribution. I honestly feel like they'll be happy about that. Yeah, some
economical damage. They have some money on the side of ENCE they're going to be able to buy next round. It was kind of interesting to see. They clearly faked that they were going to save their weapons decisively. They ran purposely in middle towards the CT base to make sure that they heard it. Oh, say, you know, on the comms.
That's a French strat.
Is it? Oh, were we the first to do that?
I think it's like a shocks thing that he called a lot.
Yeah, it might have been like you run towards the CT base or towards wherever the exit is, kind of give out a fake signal that you're not playing that game, and then they were waiting on, oh, wait a minute.
What?
Did Sutfig just eliminate X7 with an AK
God, just
through the doors?
Through the door. Just 3 or 4 bullets is all it took.
I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready.
How could you be? I mean, the inaccuracy at the distance, plus it's an AK, plus it's a headshot. That's yeah. There's no way that you could have known that would happen. That was some pretty good stuff. So I mean, it's a very serious situation. It's already 4v3 for Spirits. Alu smoking and pushing. This is classic dust or old dust2. This is like some JW dust2 right now. Smoking long and pushing through it with an AWP. They know it's not long.
That is pretty JW, right?
Sergey, you probably want to pick a spot,
risk,
right? Yeah.
Because of the information that Alu's had, they are either catwall or B. These are the two possibilities, and Sergey now is going to be in a lot of trouble. Here's the first flash. He's going to take the duel onto Idis Balance, eliminates him. That's only one. Some Diana is good for the retreat, but Alexi is behind. He gets the double frag. That's a 2v1 bomb on the side.
Oh my God, Someday Young. 27 health, 1v2, and it could be round over. He's made plays in the past. This will be a last opportunity, and it couldn't come at a more opportune moment. The Molotov will push back his first opponent in the tunnel, and that Molotov will get traded with his bomb gets planted. 1v2 is on officially. He's at big box. He knows that there's probably one at the door. There, he'll have confirmation with that utility. But again, he's still low on HP. This is the main problem for him. He's got to get a clean headshot to kick things off. If he can get big box control, we might be talking about a real clutch situation. Alexi B is his first target, but Alu comes out ahead and grabs it. ENCE pick up 16, and they win the series 2-0, but a really trying 2-0.
Yeah, it wasn't easy by any account, right? Spirit really gave them a run for their money. It might have been a case of just ENCE getting slow start, basically. They're going to have to play a little bit better for next opponents, right? No disrespect towards Spirit. I think they put up a great fight. Individually, they were sharp. Tactically speaking, maybe they were a little bit limited, but what they were doing well, which is very important in Counter-Strike, right? If you have 5 tactics that you do best, is better than to have 20 that you don't know how to do. So Spirit put up a really good fight. I'm looking forward to see what they can do against other opponents.
Sure. I mean, certainly a blessing and a curse that they have a similar map pool to ENCE, so that they kind of matched up with them and they were comfortable. But at the same time, they're playing on ENCE's like solid maps, like they're happy to play. And so maybe ENCE a little bit of an off day or an off start. But you can say Spirit were happy to play dust2. They looked better than they normally do. Coldy was in particular very sharp on the entries. There were so many good things that we can say and talk about with the way they played both maps. But it was cool to see, I guess, especially with ENCE at the end. They kind of regained control of things. They started outplaying them.
Yeah, definitely. I think they tactically outplayed Spirit a little bit on dust2 when it was really important, right? When it mattered the most, they had to find tactical solutions, and they did, mostly with that middle aggression. So, well played on ENCE. They survived this first best of 3. That's all it matters, right? It doesn't matter how it's done. They have the first victory. They're going to go 1-0 now in this Swiss format. They did the job.
Yeah, so you've got a few more best of 3s for you guys today, and we'll get into that very shortly, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.